Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Tyranid Toxicrene. Hopefully we're still in November, but if we're not, we're probably into December now, and that is because I don't think I started the Tyranid videos until sort of mid. So probably as a little bonus, I've continued that so that I cover as much as the range as possible. So this is the box. Tyranid Toxicrene. It will cost you £44, which is a fair bit of money. It's £1 cheaper than a Land Raider, and we all know how amazing Land Raiders are. It's what, £6 cheaper than a Storm Raven, and one of those is massive. You can make a Maliceptor instead, one of these, psychic, really strong psychic Pokemon. I mean, really strong psychic Tyranid. Or you can make the Toxicrene, whichever. Some people have even gone to the lengths of magnetising the two front arms and the sort of head carapace section. You know, you do have that option if you want to do that. For me though, it's a theme army. I want to try and get one of every model. So for me, I'll be getting this set again, just to have them both and both glued and solid. You do get a Terminator, which is probably why this set costs £44 and not 20. So you do get a dead Terminator there. You don't have to have him on the Toxicrene. You can have just the Toxicrene, you know, without not stepping on a Terminator. And I know that because I went to the Forge World Open Day and looked in the cabinets, and they had both one of these stepping on him and one without. So you don't have to put that Space Marine on there if you don't want to. You know, you can put other sort of dead bodies on there if you wish, and if your whole Tyranid force doesn't have any Space Marines or anything like that on, then yeah, you don't have to do that. So without further ado, because I do ramble a bit, I was told that I use small knives in one of my other videos, and people are concerned. So I'll go back to some slightly bigger knives for my unboxings. So Sly Marbo lent me his jungle knife for this unboxing, and he'll be coming out this month if you're watching this in December. But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Tyranids, or this model actually. When I first saw it on the box, I was like, what on earth's going on there? Especially with the Haruspecs, or Horospecs, whatever you want to call it. I wasn't a huge fan, but they've really grown on me, Tyranids. Much like the Death Guard and Chaos have grown on me. You get a thin profile box, and I think it comes in 2 sprues. Yep, there we go. So you're paying your £22 each sprue, and here are the aforementioned toxic lashes. They're huge. They go on forever and ever and ever, and good luck storing this fella. You know, this fella was meant to be stored in a display case. And here's your Terminator. So maybe with a bit of modification, you could turn him into a Terminator that's about to fall over. I don't know, but let's have a look at the sprues, guys. So there's the Terminator and Terminator head, and that's it for the unboxing. No, I'm only kidding. So yeah, you get these big toxic lashes. You get this this strange looking gribbly type Doctor Who ood tentacle mouth parts. Just stuff of nightmares. Yeah, and then another part of his head. I can just imagine him sort of talking a little bit like Futurama with the, I've forgotten the lobster's name, but you know what I mean, with like flappy jowls and stuff. But there's a Terminator sword as well. There are these bubbling kind of toxic pods that go around his head. So that looks to me like everything to do with the Toxicrene, obviously except for the Terminator. And then here we've got everything to do with the Maliceptor. You've got these big scything talons. They look lovely. And then you've got part of the carapace. You've got some claws for the feet, more claws. The head for the Maliceptor. I really like this this chitin or kind of armor that's on the top with these spikes. Good looking model either way, whichever one you go for. And then you've got these back parts of the carapace with these kind of brains with veins in, and you know there's like 3 of them, so 6 plus 1 in his head, or maybe a couple in his head. He's packing the brain power. He is the brain bug. He really is. Then he's got his feet and his hooves, and he's got a chubby little chode of a tail, and then some arms and so on. So not a huge amount of parts for your £44. A nice selection of detail, and yeah, this has just cemented me to get another one and get this this Malaceptor done. You also get obviously your base, this oval base. It looks like a Carnifex type base. You get the instruction book. Oh, I didn't say, did I? I always forget this. 2014, so only 3 years old, really. I think this came out when kind of Blood Angels were redone. This and the Hive Crone, I think they were the 2 new models. But and maybe the Exocrine, I don't have one, so we won't know for a while. But this is the instruction book, so just your normal black and white instruction book. It's an alright instruction book. It's not the colour ones that you've seen in the newer kits, but it'll do the job. And this was the start of a few years ago when they started to put some rules on. So back then, look you got a save of 4+, and you got ballistic skills and weapon skills, and yeah. Initiative, does everyone remember that? Initiative 3? Yeah, so back then the Toxicrene had 6 attacks and the Malaceptor only had 3, and the Malaceptor had a better sort of leadership. But ignore those rules because it's changed, and I'll be going through the new rules once it's built in the review. So that is everything I want to say about the Toxicrene in terms of unboxing and first look. I think it's a great looking model, whichever one you go for, and I'm really excited to build this and have a look at it and do some size comparisons and things. So I hope you'll join me for the review. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norn Queen.